All right. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to this week's Youth Jam session. We're so glad that you've been able to come and join us this week. Um, for starters, actually, if you're new and we haven't met you yet, feel free to reach out to any one of us, myself, Tungavidya Devitasi, there's Niharika and Parth in the room as well. So feel free to reach out to any of us if you are new and would like to introduce yourselves. First and foremost, we're going to get started with a prayer as per always. So the tradition is that we will nominate another devotee to give the prayer, and then me or someone else will probably put the link in the chat. And we have a specific prayer sorry, a format for the prayer that we use. So I'll just bring that up. And then would anyone like to make the nomination? You can unmute or also put it in the chat who you would like to nominate.
I'm gonna nominate Arav.
I second that nomination. Arav,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
My dear Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, if you so desire, let us have a very nice youth jam and let everybody take home a great message. Thank you for considering my request. Hare Krishna.
Well, very short and sweet. Thank you so much. So from here, we will be going into Chad. So I believe Parth is going to be leading us to that. So over to you, Parth. I think we're having a momentary technological issue, or else we're just not ready yet for Chad. So let's start off with, let me see, a discussion question. Um, what is something in the last week that has reminded you of Krishna in some way? Something really random, but is one thing that you've thought of Krishna in the past week? Okay, I can go first. So I was actually just outside in the sun because I live in Oregon, which is known for being very rainy and cold for most of the year. So I was very happy that it was sunny outside. So I went and sat outside and I realized as I was sitting there, I decided to take like kind of a just like close my eyes and just like feel the sun. And I was thinking of the verse in Bhagavad Gita that talks about how the light of the sun and moon is actually Krishna. So that was one way. I was like, oh, this feels really nice. So that's Krishna. So any other things that you guys have thought about in the past week that reminded you of Krishna?
I can share.
Go
So
ahead.
this past week, I was not the best about drinking water. So I have to go down 2 floors to fill up my water bottle from my dorm room. And so I was just feeling thirsty a lot. And I think at that time I was thinking, oh, Krishna has a taste of water. I should go get some water.
It's so perfect. Anything else? Chaitanya Gora, go ahead.
In our Bhakti Rickshaw, we were like, I think we were reading a book for like meditations on Krishna or something. So, we were talking about like fire and like how Krishna can like be so powerful like fire is, but also help us. Like fire helps us cook and like helps us live. So,
Mhm. Yeah, that's a really great point. Fire is like if you take that analogy, like fire can be also be really helpful or also be really dangerous. So I think like with Krishna, it's like he's never really trying to be dangerous, but in a way he's very powerful. So sometimes, for those of us who are those people who aren't Krishna conscious and they're engaged in like materialistic activities, then it can actually be something that harms them, but just the reactions of their whatever their activities are. But if we do engage ourselves in service, then Krishna is always very kind to us. So, alrighty, well, I guess we're ready. Art, are we ready?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
Okay, so we'll be reciting our Chant for this week, which is the seventh chapter. And we can start by raising our hands if you would like to recite the Sanskrit, and then we'll go back and recite the English. So if you'd like to raise your hand, we can do 5 each, and I'll get started. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Maya Sakta Mana Partha Yogam Yunjan Madashrayah Asamshayam Samagramam Yatha Nakshashi Chachunu Jnanam Teham Savijnanam Idam Vyakshyami Asheshataha Yajñatva Neha Bhuyo Nyaj Nyatyavyam Avishishyate Manushyanam Sahasresu Kashid Yatati Siddhaye Yatamapi Siddhanam Kashin Mam Veti Tatvataha Bhumirapo Nalo Vayu Kamano Bhudirevacha Ahankaram iti yamme Bhinna Prakritirashtadha Apareyamitastvanyam Prakritam Vidhi me param Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Yayedam Dharayat Jagat. Maithili, you can continue.
एतद्योनीनि भूतानि सर्वानित्युपधारय अहं कृत्स्नस्य जगतः प्रभवप्रलयस्तथा मत्तः परतरं नान्यत् किञ्चिदस्ति धनञ्जय मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोक्तं सूत्रे मणिगणा इव रसोऽहम् अप्सु कौन्तेय प्रभास्मि शशिसूर्ययोः प्रणवः सर्ववेदेषु शब्दः के पौरुषं ऋषु पुण्यो गन्धपृथिव्यंश्च तेजश्चास्मि विभावसौ जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु बीजं मां सर्वभूतानां विधि पार्थः सनातनं बुद्धिर्बुद्धिमतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनामहम्
Thank you. Navya, you can continue.
पालं पर्वतं चाहं कामरागविराजितं धर्मविरुद्धभूतेषु कामोऽस्मि भरतर्षभ
Sorry, continue.
तेषां क्या
I think you skipped a bunch of verses. All right.
I think
Yeah.
we're on 12.
Yeah, we're on 12
Yeah.
now.
it's 7. We're on number 12.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, continue.
ये चैव सात्विका भावा राजसस्तमसश्च ये मता एव ते तन्विद्धि ज्ञात्वा अहं तेषु ते मयि त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैर्भे सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्यः परमम् अव्ययम् देवी एषा गुणामायि ममाया दुरत्यया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते न मां दुष्कृतिनो मूढा प्रपद्यन्ते नराधमा माया प्रज्ञाना आसुरं भावमाश्रिता
Thank you. Tungavidya, you can continue.
Atavitha bhajante mam jana sukirtinarjana artha jignasarartharthi gyani cha bharatarshabha Tesham gyani nityayukta ekabhaktirvishishyate प्रियो हि ज्ञानिनोत्यर्थम् अहं स च मम प्रिय उद्धार सर्व एवैते ज्ञानी तत्त्वमेव मे मतम् आस्थितः स हि युक्तात्मा मामेवानुत्तमां गतिम् बहूनां जन्मनामन्ते ज्ञानवान् मां प्रपद्यते वासुदेव सर्वमिति समहात्मा सुदुर्लभः कामैस्तैस्ते वृतज्ञाना प्रपद्यन्ते न्यदेवता तं तं नियममास्थाय प्रकृत्या नियता स्वया.
Thank you. Arav, you can continue.
यो यो यां यां तनुं भक्तः श्रद्धयार्चितुमिच्छति तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां तामेव विदधाम्यहम् स तया श्रद्धया युक्तस्तस्याराधनम् ईहते लभते च ततः कामान् मयैव विहितानि तान् अन्तवत्तु फलं तेषां तद्भवत्यल्पमेधसां देवान् देवयज्ञो यान्ति मद्भक्ता यान्ति मामपि अव्यक्तं व्यक्तिमापन्नं मन्यते माम् अबुद्धयः परं भावम् अजानन्तो ममाव्ययम् अनुत्तमम् नाहं प्रकर्षः सर्वस्य योगमाया समावृतः मूढोऽयं नाभिजानाति लोको माम् अजमव्ययम्.
Thank you. Niharika, you can finish it up. Niharika? Okay, I'll continue. Vedaham samatitani vartamani cha arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu veda na kaschana Ichadvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sargeyanti parantapa yesham tvanya katam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandva mohagnirmukta bhajante mam dridavratah jara marana mokshaya mama shritya yatanti ye te brahmat tadvidu krishnam adhyatmam karma chakhilam sadhibhutatithevamam sadhiyajnam cha ye vidhu pranaye kalipi cha mam te vidur yukta chetasa Om Taj Sariti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Vijnani Yoga Nama Saptamodhyayaha Hari Om. All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll start again with translations, and we can do 5 each again. So if you like to start off, you can raise your hand. Okay, Niharika.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Now hear me, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free of doubt. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separated material energies. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another, superior energy of mine, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature.
Thank you, Niharika. Navya, you can continue.
All created beings have their source in these two natures. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and dissolution. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung upon a thread. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and the ability in man. I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat and fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penances of all aesthetics. O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all the powerful men.
Thank you. Vrinda and Mukunda, you can continue.
I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles. O Lord of the Bharatas, Arjuna. Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of the material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me.
Thank you.
O best among the Bharatas, four kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. Of these, the one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best, for I am very dear to him, and he is dear to me. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is so sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires and surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures.
Thank you. Rian, you can continue.
Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow their particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. I am in everyone's heart as the supersoul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his fate steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Endowed with such a fate, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires, but in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Men of small intelligence worship the demigod, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Unintelligent men who did not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. I am never manifested as foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible.
O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. O sign of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods and of all methods of sacrifice, can understand me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So next, we'll be moving on to a little analysis of a verse from the Nectar of Instruction, which is the fourth verse. I'll hand it off to Niharika.
Okay, so we'll first read the verse and then the translation, and then also go into the purport. And for the purport, we can do 2 paragraphs each. Okay, I can begin with the verse. Tadati pratigrinati kuyam akyati prichati bhunkte bhojayate chaiva sadvidam priti lakshanam. Okay, and everyone could raise their hands to read the following. Okay, Rian, you can start us off.
With the translation,
Yes.
offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad, and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another.
Thank you. Okay, Navya.
In this verse, Srila Rup Goswami explains how to perform devotional activities in the association of other devotees. There are 6 kinds of activities. 1. Giving charity to devotees. 2. Accepting from the devotees whatever they may offer in return. 3. Opening one's mind to the devotees. 4. Inquiring from them about the confidential service of the Lord. 5. Honoring prasad or spiritual food given by devotees. And 6. Feeding devotees with prasad. An experienced devotee explains, and then inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is Guya Makriti Prichiti. When a devotee distributes prasad, remnants of food are offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasad as the Lord's grace received through the pure devotees. We should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasad, and be prepared to please them in all respects. This is called Bhunkte Bhojayate Cheva.
If you want to read the second paragraph as well, Navya.
Even in ordinary social activities, these 6 types of dealings between two loving friends are absolutely necessary. For instance, when one businessman wishes to contact another businessman, he arranges a feast in a hotel and over the feast openly expresses what he wishes to do. Then he inquires from his business friend how he should act, and sometimes presents are exchanged. Thus, when we are dealing with, of preeti or love in intimate dealings, these 6 activities are executed. In the previous verse, Sri Rup Goswami is advised that one should renounce worldly association and keep company with the devotees, Sangat Tyate Sato Vritte. And then the International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these 6 kinds of loving exchanges between devotees. The society was started single-handedly, but because people are coming forward and dealing with a give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of the society's activities, and people are also eagerly accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them in the shape of books, magazines, dealing strictly with the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. We sometimes hold Hare Krishna festivals and invite life members and friends to participate in the feasting by accepting prasad. Although most of our members come from the higher rungs of society, they nonetheless come and take whatever little prasadam we are able to offer them. Sometimes the members and supporters inquire very confidently about the methods of performing devotional service, and we try to explain this. In this way, our society is very successfully spreading all over the world, and the intelligentsia of all countries is gradually appreciating our Krishna consciousness activities. The life of the Krishna Consciousness Society is nourished by these 6 types of loving exchange among the members. Therefore, people must always be given the chance to associate with the devotees of ISKCON, because simply by reciprocating in the 6 ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can fully revive his dormant Krishna consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita 2.62, it is stated, Sangat Sinjai Teka. One's desires and ambitions develop according to the company one keeps. It is often said that a man is known by his company, and if an ordinary man associates with devotees, he will certainly develop his dormant Krishna consciousness. The understanding of Krishna consciousness is innate in every living entity, and he is already developed to some extent when the living entity takes a human body. It is said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 10.2.107.
Yeah, I think someone else can continue from this point. Thank you so much. Manhar, if you want to read next.
Do I read the verse?
Yes.
Oh. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabhu Naya Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaya Udaya. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, the living entity naturally awakens. Since Krishna consciousness is inherent in every living entity, everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna. Simply by hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam, one's heart is directly purified, and one's original Krishna consciousness is immediately awakened. Krishna consciousness is not artificially imposed upon the heart. It is already there. When one chants the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the heart is cleansed of all mundane contamination. In the first stanza of his Sri Shikshastak, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shayakairabachandrikavataranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandambudi Vardhanam Patipadam Purnam Vitaswadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
All
You
glories.
oh,
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, you could just continue with this translation. We can hand it over to Manya.
Okay.
Manhar, if you wanted to just read the translation of the
Okay.
verse.
All glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
Not only is
Thank
the
you.
chanter of the Mahamantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is also cleansed. Even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. This was explained by Thakur Haridas when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridas Thakur said that the chanting of the holy name is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest part of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forests of Jharkhand. At that time, the tigers, snakes, deer, and all the other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to enchant the lower animals such as tigers, snakes, cats, and dogs, or entice them to dance. But by chanting the holy names of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contributing or giving charity, the Dadati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratikranati principle and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna consciousness movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Guhyamakyati Prachati principles can be served. Should I do one more?
Yes.
Okay. The members of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness invite the Society's members and supporters to dine with them when they hold love feasts in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to honor Prasad, and whenever possible, they invite members of the Society to their homes and feed them sumptuously with Prasad. In this way, both the members of the Society and the general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so-called yogis, jnanis, karmis, and philanthropists because their association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain the goal of human life, he should associate with devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement because it is the only movement that teaches one how to develop love of God. Religion is a special function of human society, and it constitutes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, mosque, or religious system. In all parts of the world, however, downtrodden human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungles also have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. As stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Savepam Samparo Dharmo Yata Bhaktiradokshya Jaya Hetukiya Paritihata Yatma Suprasidati.
The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service can be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the soul. If the members of human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relations between men and nations, they must follow Krishna conscious system of religion, by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as people do so, their minds will be immediately filled with peace and tranquility. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur warns all devotees engaged in broadcasting the Krishna conscious movement not to speak the impersonalist Mayavadis who are always determined to oppose such theistic movements. The world is full of Mayavadis and atheists, and the political parties of the world take advantage of the Mayavada and the other atheistic philosophies to promote materialism. Some they even back a strong party to oppose the Krishna conscious movement. The Mayavadis and other atheists do not want the Krishna consciousness movement to develop because it educates people in God consciousness. Such is the policy of the atheists. There is no benefit in feeding a snake milk and bananas because the snake will never be satisfied. On the contrary, by taking milk and bananas, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. Kevalam visavirdhanam. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. For a similar reason, we should not disclose our minds to the serpent Mayavadis and Karmis. Such disclosures will never help. It is best to avoid association with them completely and never ask them about anything confidential, because they cannot give good advice. Nor should we extend invitations to Mayavadis and atheists, nor accept their invitations. For by such intimate intermingling, we may become affected by their atheistic mentality. Sangat sanjayate kama. It is the negative injunction of this verse that we should refrain from giving anything to or accepting anything from Mayavadis and atheists. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also warned, Visharaya anakhaile dushtahaya mana. By eating food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes wicked. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore, on principle, one should not accept charity from the Mayavadis or atheists. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden devotees to associate even with ordinary men who are too addicted to material sense gratification. The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees, observe the regulated devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, and in full obedience, carry out the orders of the spiritual master. In this way, we shall be able to help our devotional service and dormant Krishna consciousness. The devotee who is neither a neophyte nor a Mahabhagavat, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within the middle status of devotional service, is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friends with the devotee, show favor to the ignorant, and reject the jealous and demoniac. In this verse, there is brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees. According to the Dadati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50% of his income on the service of the Lord and his devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami has set such an example in his life. When he decided to retire, he distributed 50% of his life's earnings to Krishna's service and 25% to his relatives, and kept 25% for personal emergencies. This example should be followed by all devotees. Whatever's one income, 50% shall be spent on behalf of Krishna and his devotees. This will fulfill the demands of Dadati. In the next verse, Srila Rupa Goswami informs us of what kind of Vaishnava should be selected as a friend and how Vaishnava should be served.
Thank you so much, Parth. So, does anybody have any general reflections from what we just read in the purport? Feel free to raise your hand or put in the chat. I was actually thinking about how in the beginning of the purport, Prabhupada was talking about how ISKCON is such a nice like ecosystem where people can like very easily take up to the practice of devotional service. And like the most essential part, he was talking about like coming to Sunday feasts and like associating with devotees, which is such an important piece because if you think about it, if you're like inviting a newcomer to, or you're giving them books, the main thing is that they have association because it helps motivate them and bring them closer to the practice of Krishna consciousness. So what we're doing today is very related to this topic, and Manya is gonna just talk about that real quick.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Niharika, for leading that wonderful reading. And yeah, we're gonna be going into breakout rooms and talking about what we just read a little more in smaller groups and having some discussion questions. So you'll be paired with like one breakout room leader and you'll have a little discussion and then we'll meet back in about 10 to 15 minutes or so. And yeah, I think Parth, you can open the breakout rooms now and we'll see you guys shortly.
If you haven't been assigned, just stay here and you'll be with Manya.
Great. Hare Krishna, everyone. So we can have a little breakout room in this main one. Does anybody first want to start off with saying their name and like where you're from? And we can do an icebreaker question, maybe what is the best thing you ate or something? Does someone want to start? Terrible, Ramana, how are you? You're on mute, I think.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Do you want to share like where you're from and maybe like the best thing you ate today or something that you want to share?
Um, so my name is Rimana, and the best thing I ate today was what is it called? Potato sabji, and my parents liked it because I made it with help of my dad.
You made it, Ramana?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. You should teach us. I love vada pav too.
Wait, that was not vada pav. That was potato sabji.
Potato sabji. Okay, I think I like heard wrong. That's so nice. Rian, do you want to share just where you're from and like maybe the icebreaker question?
Okay, I'm Rian. I'm from I'm from uh I'm from here like in California. Uh the best thing that I ate, I only ate one meal till now, so
Okay, what was the meal you ate?
oatmeal.
That's really good. Do you want to popcorn it to someone? Either Ryan or Navya? Okay.
Okay, Ryan.
I live in Toronto, Canada. Best thing I ate today was probably French fries.
French fries? That's so nice. I love French fries. Did you guys make it at home or
No,
is it the frozen ones and then you can like fry them?
no, I just went out for Shoeless Joe's. It's like a sports bar. Like
No.
there's lots of TVs with like hockey games and soccer games.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really cool. Navid, do you wanna also share?
Yeah, I'm from Jackson, Tennessee, and the best thing I ate today was aloo paratha.
Aloo paratha. I love that. You guys have such amazing food today. We're all gonna be hungry by the end of the meeting. All right. Krishna, everyone. I am Manya. I am currently in Champaign, Illinois. That's where I'm going to college, but I'm from Seattle, or where I was before. And the best thing I ate today, I had blueberry muffins. So that was really nice. Oh yeah, Raymond, you're unmuted. Or you're muted.
Why is it asking me to join the other call? So should I or
Oh, is he? Okay,
yeah?
give me one sec. You can just stay here, Raymond, if you would like.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we can start with some breakout questions. So, do you guys have any general reflections, first of all, before we start, or anything you liked about what we read? Anyone wants to share? Have you guys read this verse before? Is this okay, like raise of hands. Is this verse like new to someone? Okay, wait, you guys are experts.
Which verse actually?
We just read oh, um NOI Nectar of Instruction verse 3, I think we are at. Give me one second. I'm gonna figure out why this breakout room situation. Okay, anyways, we can have our own discussion until then. Okay, so I'll have some questions that we can answer. So the first one was like, what does spiritual friendship look like to you guys? And do you see some kind of difference in usual friendships, maybe in school or an outside class you do? Um, And any differences that you notice or anything that you feel. It doesn't have to be like negative and positive. But anything you guys notice? I can start first. I definitely feel like spiritual friendships have been very fruitful in me kind of understanding like where I stand with my spiritual life, and it's like very enlivening. And material friendships are really nice, but sometimes they can feel like overburdening. Like maybe I'm doing things that I don't really love doing, but it's like kind of peer pressuring. Um, oh, hi, Ramona, you're back.
Sorry, I logged out.
Okay. Okay, well, we're just doing a quick discussion and like the difference between that you've noticed in like maybe spiritual friendships or material friendships or any school friendships or any class friendships. And do you see a difference? And if so, like what is the difference? Um, yeah. Anybody want to share? I just started us off a little bit.
I think like spiritual friendships will like last longer, and material friendships can go away quickly.
Hmm.
I feel like spiritual friendships, both are really good, but spiritual friendships, I feel like sometimes they're a bit deeper because you have more stuff to relate on and you can talk about that kind of stuff. And you don't always have to feel like you're just on the outside.
That's really nice. I felt that too. Sometimes I feel like in like school friends or maybe something that's not as deep, like we'll just talk about classes or something else, but in spiritual friendships, it's like you're more open to sharing your heart and like being more vulnerable. Yeah. Raymona, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, I was going to say the same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, but spiritual is like you get more in, but like friendship, like school friends are like you just talk about something random.
Mm,
Um,
So like what is something that maybe you could talk to someone in like a spiritual friendship? Like what could you discuss with them that maybe you can't discuss with other people? You can think about it. I know I put you on the spot. Okay, all right. Then we can maybe talk about the verse specifically. So there was one thing that was mentioning like a verse that said Sangat San from what we just read. They said Sangat Sanjayate Kama. And it says one's desires and ambitions like develop according to the company one keeps. So it's often said that a man is known by his company. And if an ordinary man associates with devotees, he will certainly develop his dormant Krishna consciousness. So my question is, have you maybe noticed sometimes that the people around you are influencing your mindset and habits? And it's sometimes like very subtle, like you can't notice it, but maybe this question can make us think about it more. Like, have you noticed like where you are, the people who you associate with have an influence on your mind and habits? And it doesn't have to be negative, it could be positive too. Um, yeah. Has anybody noticed that? Like associating with people? No? I'm gonna well, I can also say something. I've definitely noticed it because even if I don't notice in the present moment, I feel like my consciousness is like being developed in that way a little bit. And um, maybe I catch on some habits or things that my friends do. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but sometimes like if your friend will say a word or phrase and it kind of catches on you, and then you notice yourself saying the same word or phrase. And then your parents like, where'd you get that from? I'm like, oh, from this friend or, from this random YouTube video or something I watched. So I was thinking about how like little words or phrases that maybe we've heard catch on to us. And that's kind of also association um, that kind of goes along. Yeah. Anybody else notice that too? Maybe not you've noticed it before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Navi, I love your reactions. Rian, what do you think? Oh, you're muted, by the way.
Wait, what was the question again?
Yeah, there's a question. I'll just repeat it. It was the people who you associate with have like an influence on you. So like, have you noticed how like people around you, things around you have influenced your mindset or like your habits or anything? Yeah. In what way would you say? Like, do you see like maybe hanging out with friends? Like, is it different after? Do you notice it?
Like in friends mostly.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes like maybe you feel happier being in their association, and maybe sometimes like if someone's being mean to you and you're in their association, it kind of also has a bad effect on you, right? You might feel hurt or anything like that. Like I was thinking. Right. And then one thing we talked about in the verse was like different exchanges, where how we can express our love to our friends, our family members. And some of the ways was like accepting charitable gifts or revealing one's need or inquiring or accepting prasad and offering prasad or offering gifts. So I was wondering, are these things that you guys have practiced before, or like what is your favorite to do? Maybe it's like talking to your friend, or sharing prasad or offering gifts. Is there anything that connects with any of you that you want to share about? And these are like the six loving exchanges that come from that given instruction, by the way.
Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, I can. Brian, do you think you could be able to mute yourself for something? I think there's background noise. Oh, I think people are trickling back. Welcome, guys. We're just talking about the question of like what loving exchange connects with us the most. So loving exchange like offering gifts to your friends or revealing your mind, like just sharing a realization or offering prashad or taking prashad. Um, yeah, just asking like which one connects you with the most. Maybe it's like talking to a friend or eating prashadam with them. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say revealing one's mind and confidence helps me a lot. So yeah.
I think for me it's giving gifts, especially like to I mean, I know the technical wordings is offering gifts in charity, but for me it's more in terms of offering gifts to friends because I think it makes us a lot more close and connects me to them. But I think everyone's starting to roll back in so we can continue with our main program.
Yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. Hopefully that was a great discussion. We can do quick reflections, Niharika, if you want to go ahead and lead that.
Yes, sure. So whatever points stuck out to you in your like individual breakout rooms, feel free to share with everyone. We can have like one spokesperson from each group who kind of recaps the conversation. So we can start with maybe parts group.
Sure, I can be the spokesperson.
Okay.
So Manhur was talking about the question where it was about associating with people and how you how you can help them. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase that. How you're if when someone associates with devotees, their dormant devotion also gets activated. And then I asked a question, if devotees are not supposed to associate with non-devotees, how does how does a non-devotee end up associating with devotees because they can't both happen? But Manhur said that Prabhupada quoted once, you should fish without getting wet. So essentially pull them out of the water and don't fall into the water yourself, which I thought was an amazing quote and really provided some light on that.
Wait, that's a really nice quote. We were having like similar topic discussions as well. Avian, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, like in my group, um, uh, we were like discussing about this one main question, like what, like if you're in association, it really affects you. So, like, what happens? I just wanted to share this one story where, like, in our congregation, we had like my friends. Uh, she started chanting 16 rounds like about a year ago or something. And she was the only one in our congregation doing 16. But after some time, slowly by slowly, after we seeing her, I slowly started picking it up. And now, like, there are like three other people doing 16, including me.
That's so sweet. That's really special. Yeah, definitely. Like having peers doing great next to you and like seeing them be really stellar Krishna conscious devotees also is so motivating for you to do the same. It's a really nice personal example. Thank you. Were you, which like room were you in with Manya or Tungavidya?
I was with Tungavidya.
Okay. Does anybody else from the same group want to add to that?
Go ahead and share a little something. Um, So we kind of went through all the different discussion questions, and one thing I really liked asking was, or the responses that I got for this particular question were about which one connects to you the most, which of the six exchanges, and kind of why or what essentially. And everyone said that they liked cooking, and then I got really hungry because I asked everyone what they liked making, and it was really awesome. Very talented cookers and bakers. But one thing I appreciated from everyone was that not only is a lot of it was about giving. It's like I want to make prashadam when I'm given charity. Maythili was actually sharing this really sweet story about how when she was younger, she used to have like collect quarters and put in a piggy bank, and her dad was like, "Hey, how about you donate like 22 of those quarters every week to the deities in the temple?" And I thought that was really cool. And then for Avian and Kirtani Agora, one thing I noticed is that for them, their experiences in cooking were always shared with their like dad, or their respective dads. But and I thought that was really sweet because not only is it about giving prashadam, so you're involving devotees in that way, because obviously if you're giving, then someone's accepting, but you're also sharing the experience of cooking with someone as well. So I thought that was really sweet as well.
That is so sweet, indeed. Yeah, there's so many ways in which devotional service can be engaging. Like every aspect of the process can be made a shared experience for sure. And then anybody from my room want to share? Okay, I can give a little recap. So in the beginning, we were just talking about like the difference between spiritual and like friendships from school, perhaps. And I think everybody resonated with the same feeling that there's kind of different levels of conversation that you have with each kind of person. And when you're with temple friends, you're more likely to be engaged in devotional service. And you can even make it really fun by doing things that are more suited to your interests. And Arif was sharing how like he plays flute with somebody, one of his friends who plays violin, and they do kirtan together. And he like reads with another one of his friends. And I was sharing how I like write research papers about Krishna consciousness with some of my friends. So it was like very suited to our own interests. And again, we got into discussion about like the change of consciousness. And I think the question came about like it's really hard to just avoid non-devotee association. So how do we kind of reconcile that? And I think we came to the conclusion that they don't have to be in your like immediate close friend circle, and you can keep your conversations at a different level compared to like your close devotee friends. So yeah, that's kind of a gist of what we talked about in my room. And I think we have Manya's room left.
Yeah, I can start off, and then if someone else would like to add from my room, they can. Um, yeah, it was really nice, and I really liked when Raymond shared that she made aloo sabji with her parents. And I thought that was a really sweet exchange, of just also love, and I was able to relate that to the six exchanges, just cooking and offering prasad with devotees. Um, and then we talked about how we've noticed how there's a difference when we associate with people who are in a spiritual circle with versus like a material circle. And we were also sharing how spiritual friendships, they tend to last a little more, and it's more long term, and you can share your heart more openly, and you don't have to kind of hide a lot of stuff. And it seems that you can share more and be yourself and more open. So I really liked learning about that from people.
Yeah, I think we also touched on that last point. Like when you're with Krishna conscious friends, you're working towards the same goal and you have this shared sense of purpose. So that connection just becomes deeper because you're helping each other in that process as well. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for sharing. These sound like really awesome and engaging discussions. So yeah, until next time for that segment. So the last part of our program will be the Lilamrita reading. And that will be led by, I think, Mani, are you still here for a bit?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, if you could lead that, that would be awesome.
Sure.
Vidya, are you able to share screen?
I'm gonna try to track down where we last left off if anyone has a link. But in the meantime, if anyone has any more reflections from the discussion group, please go ahead while I troubleshoot this.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I was thinking till we track down Lilamrita, we've started calling these our sadhana Saturdays because we've started introducing japa to the mix, and that's been really fulfilling. Aru, I see your beat bag. You're all ready already. Yeah, so I think we'll go ahead with chanting first, and then if we have some time, we could do reading or we can do general reflections. Niharika, do you want to lead us through that? Or
You can
if
feel free.
I will
okay.
say that I do actually have the slides for the chanting pulled up and not for this SPL, so let's just go through that.
Okay, yes.
Vanya, did you want to lead that? Or
Yeah, I can start off. Um,
I have the Bhuta Shuddhi if you would like to do that.
yes, yes, we can do that. So before starting off, we'll just get into the preparation of chanting. And here's a little prayer that we like to read. And I can see the prayer, and you can say it behind muted mics with me if you would like. So here's the Buddha Shuddhi. I am by nature the eternal servant of Krishna, but by misfortune, due to being inimical towards him since time immemorial, I have been wandering within the cycle of birth and death in the material world, being burnt by the threefold miseries. Now, as a result of some unimaginable good fortune, by the mercy of my spiritual master, I know that I am an infinitesimal living being, completely apart from the gross and subtle body. Now, by the order of my spiritual master, I have obtained the good fortune of serving his lotus feet, as well as the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. Naham Vipro, na cha Narapati, na api Vaishyo, na Shudro, Naham Varni, na cha Grihapati, no Vanasto Yatirva, Kintu Protyam Nikhila Paramananda Purnamritapte, Gopi Bharato Padakamalayo Das Dasanudasa. I am not a Brahmana, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Vaishya or a Shudra, nor am I a Brahmachari, a householder, a Vanaprastha, or a sannyasi. I identify myself only as the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. He's like an ocean of nectar, and he's the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. And we'll have the Mahamantra shared on the screen in a bit. But until then, everyone can please just get their beats, or if you have a counter or however you like to chant, I have some beats with me that I use. So we can get those beats out. And we can chant together, but if you would like to chant separately, that's okay too. I think it's nice to chant in a group for some time, and we'll just do about one round of like 10 minutes of chanting. Yeah. All right. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasani Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhara Shivasani Gaur Bhaktivinoda. All right, we'll slowly come back to the space, and we'll take one deep breath and come back. So we'll breathe in. We'll hold for some time and breathe out. All right. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hopefully that was a fruitful japa session for you all. And thank you so much for participating. Just seeing you all in so much concentration chant encouraged me so much just to be in this space and chant. So thank you, everyone. And we just have a few more minutes until we end for today afternoon. So I'm going to open it up for some reflections. It can be from your chanting, your daily life, what's bothering you, what are you mad about, what are you happy about. Anything that anyone wants to share, please go ahead. The floor is yours. We'll wait 5 seconds and then I'll start calling on people. Kirtan and Gora, you look pretty happy up there. Where are you from?
I'm from Chicago.
Oh, hey, I'm also near Chicago. Have you
Oh,
heard about the Champaign area? That's where
yeah.
I'm now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you have any reflections? How are you doing in Chicago?
It's good. I think I saw you at the temple like a few times, but yeah, it was calming because like it was like Japaran that didn't take like it was more clearer and like better than usual because like I was doing it as a group.
Mm, that's really nice. Yeah, you definitely notice it when it's a bigger group. It's kind of like you're forced to pay attention, which can be good. Anyone else? Arab, how are you doing? How was your chanting today? Or anything
Hare
else you
Krishna.
want to share? Like, feel free. It doesn't have to be chanting at all.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Chanting was very nice today. I just found another song about actually the holy names. So we were listening to it, my mom and I. My mom just played it inside the car. We'd
Mhm.
heard it one time in our Bhakti Vriksha class, but this time we heard it outside after a while, and it was very nice. Anybody knows Kevalashtakam, the 8 verses? It used to
Mhm.
be 100 verses, but now we have eight.
Oh.
100 all in Nushtup Chanda, so 32 syllables glorifying the holy name per verse. And the first verse says, it's more sweet than all sweet things, more auspicious than all auspicious things, the great purifier of purifying things. The holy name of Sri Hari is the only way. So I was just remembering this verse while chanting because it's we say Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Katiran, before classes and stuff like that. It's
Mm.
fiction.
Wow, that was so nice. I didn't know there were 100 and then they were like now condensed to 8. That's a really fun fact. I also love listening to Kevalashtakam. It's so calming and the meaning is so beautiful. Yeah, Niharika says same. Maithili, how are you? How are your garlands coming out?
I haven't made a garland in like a while, but yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? How's your life going?
Um, it's it's okay right now. It's just a little busy since I have like finals coming up.
Oh, what grade are you in right now?
7th grade.
Oh, you have finals in 7th grade?
Yeah.
Oh no, that sucks.
Yeah.
My God. Well, we're wishing you collective good luck. So by joining U Jam, you're getting the good luck of like 16 people already. So we're all rooting for you.
Thank you.
Let's see, we'll take one more. Anybody want to volunteer? Raymond, how are you? I'll call on you. Oh, you're muted.
Okay.
You're good?
Yeah.
Do you have any reflections from your life? Do you miss your sister? She's so far
Yeah.
from you now. Do you call her now more?
Yeah.
You call her? That's good. All right. All right, Haribo, everyone. This was so nice. And thank you so much for the entire UGM team for volunteering in so many different ways. And everyone who joined and gave us your Saturday afternoon. And we will see you all next week at the same time here at UGM. And if you don't know, we have an amazing Instagram account and Facebook, which this is all going live to Facebook. So you can all say hi to our Facebook viewers. um, all right. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for joining UGM. And maybe we'll leave either by saying Hare Krishna or give us your favorite emoji. Go. I will try to look for one.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for joining, everyone. We'll see you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Haribo.